Okay, let's look at how to change the felt pads on the Korg Stage Echo SE 300. There's a set of pads here, and these are a bit tricky. I've already taken out one of the screws already, and essentially there's a screw here and one here. I'll set the screw down here on the plate so you can see it. It's a star head screw tip on it, and essentially what you're doing is you're taking both of these off. Once you take these off, it stops the tension been applied between the two pads. So let me just take this one out so you can see it. Bear with me, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Okay, just make sure that the actual screw doesn't skate anywhere. So now you can actually access both of these pads. Now this is a new enough pad, believe it or not. I know it looks a bit dirty, and so was this one, but this pad that I've put in is actually too thick, and it's causing issues with the pitch of the echoes, so I need to take that off now. And essentially what I do to take this off is I get a flat head screwdriver like so, and I just pry it off bit by bit, the sticky bits underneath here, and essentially that should come off. You might want to give it a clean then as well, to make sure that whatever you're putting back on again will stick on. It's the same then with the other side too. So it's much easier to get at if you take that off, and you won't do any damage as long as you're careful. This is spring mounted. You can actually take this out of the mechanism as well, but you just need to be very, very careful, and you need to pry it left to right. And it's got a small T-junction in there, and you're looking to kind of get it at the right angle so it pops out. There is a spring attached underneath. I have never taken that spring off, just with the fear of trying to get it back on again. But you can do everything that you need, even like this anyway, if you're just taking the pad off. This pad as well is not exactly on the best, so I'm going to take that off and put another one on. The other pads that you have then are over on this side. So you've got one here, and you can actually take this whole section off if you like. I didn't, I just kept it on, but you can take that off with undoing the two screws, and then you can get better access to that. The final one is this pad here. Now basically this pad, this whole section can come off. So you've got two screws here, one here and one here. So if you take those off, this whole section will come off. If you're having any issues with pitch, sometimes there is not enough tension on here. So basically this screw here, you can see there's a wee bit of a hole here, and what that allows you to do is to put this in further, so there's more tension. So if I push this in more and tighten it up, you get more tension. If I take it back this way and tighten the screw, you get less tension. So that's something to be aware of as well if you're taking that off and putting it back on again. If you get no echoes, if you get no feedback, it's to do with this section here. So just make sure and tighten that up. If you tighten it too much, you might have issues as well. So you'll need to play with that for quite some time until you get that set up. Once you replace that pad, you could try keeping it on and replacing the pad, but you could end up damaging or bending this piece of metal. It is sturdy enough, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would just take it off and then tighten it afterwards. So that's the pads that you need to replace. And it is pretty simple and straightforward. And maybe just take a photograph of the setup before you start taking things apart, so you have some type of reference when you go back again. Okay, that's it. Good luck.